Hey, the Pillow Chase 2 Recode was out, and I played it for a bit, because, why wouldn't I? Obviously, I'm a very die-hard Pillow Chase 2 fan, so I want to give my thoughts and just general opinions on, what it's like and how I feel about it. So, obviously, when you load into the game, you can see that there is a very, very huge general change to how rounds work. Instead of having to wait for an intermission for games to start, instead, you can go into these little hubs where you can then wait for other people to join and it'll start up a round, which means when you go into this round, you will pretty much just start the game instantly, and whoever has the highest monster chance goes as the monster. Duh. But instead, when you die or when the game ends, you can return back to lobby, which means you can pretty much just leave the second you die, go back to lobby, and then go into another game. Now you don't have to wait for the games to finish, because sometimes games in Pillow Chase 2 can last insanely long, and it is so dragging and annoying to just wait, especially when you're trying to grind levels for your monster. That makes it so much more easier to play the game and way more enjoyable, because now you're not just waiting until the rounds are over. I just love this change so much. It's just so much better. But when you go into a round, you'll notice that obviously the gameplay is extremely different. And it feels way different. It feels like a completely different game because it's a Recode, obviously. You can't slide as of right now. I don't know if that's going to be a thing that's going to be implemented, but you can go in third person or just play in first person like you regularly would. The game feels way more team-based now, as you actually have to work together to get treasure and collect gears, which the gears are used to power the elevator's generator, which when you find the elevator, you can then fuel the generator with the gears by putting them in and fixing the generator. Doing this will allow you to activate the optional escape route, which basically just lets you exit easier. It lets you exit early if you wish to, which I think is cool. I think it's very great that you can do this, which, by the way, it will not allow you to get as much rewards for escaping early, but you can do this if you want to just speed up your games and just get coins, I would imagine. I think that the maps being more confined like this makes it way better because of how Pillow Chase's monsters work, with how much their stamina can change in such different measures and how their abilities work. I think that makes it good, but maybe not for certain monsters, because most of those most monsters require like bigger areas to actually hit certain attacks. For instance, the Stricken Tank and the Boulder Toss. You get what I mean, right? Maybe there will be bigger maps to compensate for those things, but of course, I honestly prefer the style of it being a little more confined while also being big enough to where it's, somewhere you can loop around and stuff. But I think I like all the amounts of, different ways you can take. Like, it's kind of like a maze point, but it's like enough to where you have survivability as long as you know the map better than the person that you're playing against. And there's also enough dead zones for it to be punishing for survivors, so that way as a monster you actually have a chance to win. Speaking of monster, playing as monster is a lot of fun. I really like it a lot, and it's kind of weird because I like that it feels way more like a party game now than it usually did. But with the way that it's working now, from the looks of it, monsters don't get time back when they get kills, so it more is just like kill as many people as you can and see how well you performed. At least that's just my general take on it, because I like it, I do, but I mean, getting server wipes is going to be a lot more inconsistent, because assuming you don't get time back, and survivors can just objective rush you and make you lose all your time, so you have to be extra efficient with how well you're doing. So be wary of that, unless, Blade just makes it so that way monsters get time back, but that's just what I'm getting from this game, from the Recode. And then when you win the game or when the round ends, you get a little results screen, which shows you how well you performed, how many objectives you did, who died, who survived, who escaped, all that good stuff. I love that a lot. It also shows how well the monster did, showing how many kills they got, how much damage they did overall. I think that's super freaking cool. It's really, really clean too. It makes it feel, again, way more like a party game, and I love that a lot. Also, the shop is super cool. I like the model for Phoenix. She looks great. I really like that a lot. And also the shop is pretty cool. I mean, seemingly it's going to be pretty useless to me because I don't ever really buy anything, but to each their own. Maybe somebody will need to buy stuff, but I think it's pretty cool. And yeah, that's all about the Recode. I think it's really good. I think it's extremely fun to play. Even playing as Survivor, they made it so much better. Blade has done an outstanding job with this Recode. It mostly has to do with the fact that you can be in third person now, for me at least, because now you can actually like creep around the corners, see if the monster's coming. I like that a lot. I also like the new dungeon map. I think it's way better than the old one because there's a lot more like, you know, breakpoints. There's a lot of areas you can go through. Did I forget to mention that monsters can break through walls? Wow, I can smash through walls. There will be little cracks in the walls, little big black like voidless cracks that you can't see through, but monsters can go through too, and monsters can see through. So that way monsters can get, you know, little advantages, little shortcuts, so that way they can catch up to you more efficiently. And yeah, I think it's great. I think it's doing super well. I can't wait to see how well Blade takes this into the future. I can't wait to see how it's going to be implemented for the other monsters, because right now we only had Vapor. Imagine this for like a monster like Ingfell or MX. I'm excited. So yeah, that's all. See ya.